Good morning, students. Now, this is the lecture number 6. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about the factors affecting to demand. So, first and foremost factor affecting to demand, we have discussed the price of the commodity, in which we have discussed that if the price of the consumer will increase, if the price of the commodity will increase, the demand of that commodity will decrease. Or if the price of commodity will decrease, the demand of the commodity will increase. Now, second is the income of consumer. Income of consumer is also very important factor which affected to the demand. As the income of the consumer will increase, natural the consumption of the consumer will also increase. Or if the consumer will make more consumption, there will be more demand. According to income of the consumer, goods are divided in three types: normal goods, inferior goods, or inexpensive necessities. First, normal goods. If the consumer income will increase, the demand of the normal goods will be also increase. Or if the income of consumer decreases, the demand of the goods also will decreases. So here is a positive relation between the income of consumer and demand of the normal goods. Normally, for example, you can understand if the consumer income is 10,000 per month and the consumer is making the consumption of 1 liter milk in his family. Now, if the consumer income has increased 40,000 per month, now he will also increase the consumption of milk and he make the consumption of milk 2 liter per day. Now, means income of consumer increase, the consumption of milk is also increased. So here the relation between the income of consumer and consumption of milk, this is the positive relation. Next is the inferior goods or inverse relation. Inferior goods means if the income of consumer increases, the demand of inferior goods will decrease, because the consumer will transfer on the better quality goods. Suppose a consumer income was 10,000 per month and he was making the consumption of rice 15 kg rice per month, and the price of rice was 25 rupees to 30 rupees per kg. Now the consumer's income increase and it becomes 40,000 per month. Here consumer will make the consumption of rice 15 kg, but he will make the consumption of better quality rice in comparison to previous one. Now he is purchasing the rice of 40 rupees to 45 rupees per kg. So the rice which price was 25 to 30 rupees per kg, that rice will be considered as inferior goods in comparison to the rice that price is 40 to 45 rupees per kg. So here you are seeing when the income of the consumer has increased, in that case the demand of inferior goods has been fall down. So here is the inverse relation. If the income increase, demand of inferior goods fall down. Now we see the diagram, how we will make the diagram of inverse relationship. This is the OX, this is the quantity, and OY, this is the income. Now it was the income 10,000 per month, 20,000 per month, 30,000 per month, and 40,000 per. This is the demand of rice, price 25 to 30 rupees per kg. Five kg, 10 kg, 15 kg, 20 kg. And when it is the income of 10,000, it is the demand of 15 kg. Now his income has become 40,000, but demand has become the zero. When the income of consumer has been increased, from 10,000 to 40,000, the demand of the commodity has become zero. So demand curve, it has been go backward, left hand side sloping. This is the demand curve. Income increases and demand decreases. That is the reason. This is the inverse relationship. Next one is the inexpensive necessities. Inexpensive necessities are those goods which are a very less part of the consumer income. For example, match, matchbox, salt, chili powder. If you see the cost of matchbox, salt, or chili powder in a month and the consumer income, make the comparison, you will see a very less part of the income the consumer expense on these commodities. And the demand of such commodities are not changed. Either the income is more or either the income is less. If the consumer income is 10,000 and he is using 1 kg salt per month, now when his income will be 40,000, even though he will make the consumption of 1 kg salt per month, he will not increase the consumption of salt or decrease the consumption of salt. Same it will be happen in the case of chili powder or matchbox. How you will represent in the diagram? This is the OX quantity and this is the income. Now income is 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 per month. 1 kg, 2 kg, 3 kg, 4 kg, 5 kg. Suppose this is the matchbox. Packet. If his income was 10,000 or during the month he is making consumption of 2 packet matchbox. Now his income is 4,000, 40,000 per month. He will make the consumption of 2 packet matchbox. So if the income will be increased one, there will be no any change on the consumption of inexpensive necessities. So here will be a constant relationship between the income of consumer and demand of inexpensive necessities. Third one is the consumer's taste and preference. If any product is the particular consumer taste or preference, now he will give the priority and he will be demanded it more. Or if it is not his priority, not his taste, his demand will be less. Price of related goods. There are the two types of related goods. One is the substitute goods and one is the complementary goods. Substitute goods means those goods which may be substituted to one another, like Pepsi and Coca-Cola. If the Pepsi is not available and shopkeeper will offer the Coca-Cola, 90% the consumer will accept without any hesitation. So Pepsi and Coca-Cola, these are the substitute goods. Now, the price of one commodity and the commodity demand of its substitute goods. One commodity's price and substitute goods demand. Between these two, there will be a direct relationship. Now, if one commodity price will be increased, the demand of substitute goods will be also increased. How it is? Pepsi price is 10 rupees and Coca-Cola price is 10 rupees of 200 ml. Now the price of Pepsi fall down. Now price of Pepsi has fall down. It has become 8 rupees, but Coca-Cola price is the same. Now you are seeing Pepsi and Coca-Cola both are the substitute goods and both price was running 10 rupees each 200 ml. Now the price of Pepsi has been fall down and it has become 8 rupees, but Coca-Cola price remains same 10 rupees Now, the consumer of Coca-Cola will be start to make the consumption of Pepsi. So the price of Pepsi will fall down. The quantity demand of Coca-Cola will fall down. If you will show in the diagram, this is the price of Pepsi. This is the quantity of Coca-Cola. Now price is 10 rupees, 5 rupees, 10 rupees, 15 rupees, 20 rupees. Now demand is 50 bottle, 100 bottle, 200 bottle, 300 bottle, 400 bottle. Now price of Pepsi was running 10 rupees and its demand was 300 bottle. Now price of Pepsi has fallen down and it has become 8 rupees. The demand of Coca-Cola has fallen down to 200. Now you are seeing the price of the Pepsi has fallen down. The quantity demand of Coca-Cola also has fallen down. So here is the direct relationship between the price of Pepsi and quantity demand of Coca-Cola. Next topic is complementary goods. Complementary goods means those goods which are used together. One is complementary to other. For example, car and petrol. So petrol is the complementary of the car. A car is the complementary of the petrol. If the price of petrol will fall down, the demand of the car will increase. A price of the petrol will increase, the demand of the car will fall down. So here is the inverse relationship between the price of one commodity and quantity demand of the complementary commodities. Now see how you will draw the diagram for this. This is the car, petrol petrol rate is 70 rupees per liter and demand of car is 100 piece. Now price of the petrol fall down, it has become 50 rupees per liter. The demand of car has been increased 200 pieces. When the price of petrol will fall down, the more people will start to use the car. So demand of car will increase. How we will react this? Always quantity you will show on the OX level and price you will show on OY level. So quantity demand of car and here the price of petrol. Here price is the 20, 40, 60, 80. Demand of car 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. When the price of petrol was 70, this is the 70. When the price of petrol was 70, demand of car was 100 piece. And the price of petrol fall down 50. And demand of car has been increased 200. So you are seeing here the price of petrol will fall down, demand of complementary goods will increase one. Next one is the consumer expectation. If the consumer expects that in future the price of the commodity will be increased one, in that case, in the present, he will purchase more quantities, so demand of the commodity will be increased one. For example, when the Narendra Modi, our PM, Honorable PM Narendra Modi had declared lockdown, at a sudden, the demand of mostly consumable goods has been increased because the public were thinking that in the future the price will be increasing one. So in the night you have seen after a declaration of lockdown at nearly 8:30, and after then in the late night there was the too much demand of the domestic commodities. The people were making the purchasing till night 12, 12:30 or 1 o'clock. Next, consumer credit facilities. When the seller provides credit facilities, in that case, the demand of the goods are increases one. You know, when the mobile company start to provide the smartphone on credit facilities that the consumer can pay the amount in installment in 10 installment, now the consumer start to purchase the costly mobile. If the consumer income is 20,000 per month, now he was also able to purchase the smartphone of 20,000 because he planned set that he will pay 2,000 per month and within 10 months he will pay in each one. So when the company provides the credit facility, the demand are always increases. Government policy also affected to the demand. If the government make the policy of higher tax rate, the goods will be costly and demand will be fall down. When government make the policy of less tax, the goods will be cheaper and the people will make more consumption and demand will be more. So if the tax rate will be high, the demand of that commodities will be low, a tax rate will be low, the demand of that commodities will be high. Thank you, student.